It's a well-known fact with Brighton, they don't score enough and the stats show that more goals should be scored. So how do Brighton fix this? What can we expect next season, and could transfers fix this issue? So let's look at what those troubles are. Since the arrival of Graham Potter, we've seen Brighton switch to an attacking team, taking risks and playing fast. In terms of the league position, it doesn't reflect the change on the pitch, finishing 15th and then 16th last season, both with 41 points. 2019-20 saw them score 39 and concede 54. Their expected goals for scoring that season was 41.2, so a fair reflection on what they were able to score. And the expected goals for goals conceded was 54.5, so just about spot on with that. 2020-21, 40 goals scored, just one more than the season before, but 46 goals conceded was 8 less. Their XG for scoring goals, 51.6, a reminder they scored 40, proving that many more goals should have been scored last season. And less should have been conceded too. XG for goals conceded was 37.7 and they let in 46. To put that into perspective, Brighton ranked 11th for their XG scored, and 3rd for their XG conceded, with only Manchester City and Chelsea with less than 37.7. There's a clear problem here, so let's look into the squad statistics for a better understanding of what's going on. So Brighton's shots on target percentage was the lowest in the Premier League last season with 27.1%, but their shots per 90 was 12.5, the 7th most in the Premier League, proving that they can be better and score more because they're having many shots. What we can take from this is that the XG tells us they're getting into the right positions where goals should be scored, they're giving themselves a great chance of putting the ball in the back of the net, but when it comes to finishing, the players are simply struggling to get their shots on target. And that is the major issue behind the poor record of goals scored in comparison to the expected goals, the shots on target. But what about the players individually? Where do the issues lie on the pitch? Before that, if you could please click the like button as it helps the videos getting found, and consider subscribing to the channel for more Premier League analysis just like this. Well, looking into individuals in the team, Basuma, Gross, McAllister and March had a combined 118 shots last season. Only 14 of them were on target. Where you then look at the forwards, mainly Neil Maupay, who is the striker and Brighton's top goal scorer for the last 2 seasons. He's done well when you put it like that, but the fact that even he is underperforming in terms of goals scored just shows how they can do much better. Out of the top 25 players who had the most shots in the Premier League last season, Neil Maupay ranked 21st for the shots on target percentage, their main striker, with a 32.8% average. Neil Maupay only managed to score 8 goals last season, and even then 3 of them were penalties. The only players matching their expected goals were Danny Welbeck, who scored 6 and he had an expected goals excluding penalties of exactly 6, and Leandro Trossard with 5 scored, he had an XG of 5.1. They are in fact the best performing players in terms of goals and assists excluding penalties per 90. Welbeck and Trossard have been good performers. Everybody else though, Brighton can seek improvement in areas on the pitch where they can have different players to help with scoring goals. With Basuma remaining in the side and having a strong back 3 in place, it means that Brighton have the defensive setup to be able to add players in other positions who can focus on goal scoring. Something that I discussed throughout last season was how Brighton performed better with less of the ball. They were winning more matches when they were having less than 600 touches. What you can take from this is that Brighton performed better when entering the final third quicker, not passing around waiting for a breakthrough, but instead moving into space quickly, and this means it's easier to take shots. When you're in a congested box full of defenders, it means that shooting at goal can become difficult. Brighton need to move the ball quicker in the final third, getting into the box when the opposition don't expect, and find teammates when they have more time on the ball to finish the chance. One player who can help with this next season and make a difference is Enoch Mwepu, Brighton's new signing from RB Salzburg this summer. Nicknamed the Computer due to his reading of the game, how he plays football, how he's everywhere on the pitch and can do all the jobs needed, this is where Mwepu can be so useful next season. He's a midfielder who's played on the right side of RB Salzburg's 4-2-2. So at Brighton, we can expect to see him at attacking midfield on the right wing or at central midfield to be a box-to-box player affecting the attack from there too. Interestingly, how he said about Danny Welbeck being one of the best performers in terms of goals scored, Mwepu has said, "I've told Danny Welbeck you're gonna score a lot of goals this season, just be ready for my assists, I'm gonna set them up for him." And this is where the difference of Unwepu will be seen. He could be crucial. A player to keep the fast pace going in the attack, which he's used to from Salzburg, great at dribbling and can put the ball in dangerous areas for forwards to score, all the while being defensively strong, which is what he does really well. He had the most tackles won last season for RB Salzburg. So Brighton's strong defensive structure will remain in place with Unwepu in the team, and he started off really well for Brighton, scoring a goal in their friendly against Luton Town. So how could their 3-4-2-1 work next season to give them the best opportunity of improving their results? Players such as Sanchez, Webster, Dunk, Veltman and Bissouma are straight in the team to keep Brighton's strong defensive structure. When Tariq Lamptey is fit, he comes straight into the team at right wing back. He's so influential to them when he plays. Next to Bissouma, there's a few options. Do you slowly bring in Moises Caicedo throughout the season? Possibly, or maybe Jakub Moder, the Polish international who had been playing left wing back but is a central midfielder, could come into the team. He's capable of attacking well and scoring. He did exactly that against England in a World Cup qualifier, putting pressure on John Stones, won possession, got the ball and scored. For Brighton, he could be another good outlet in the midfield to chip in with some goals throughout the season. Left wing back is maybe a new signing. Marc Cucurella is a target. An energetic and creative fullback who was a top performer for Getafe last season. I'll put him in that position for now. The attacking midfield positions, Trossard and Unwepu, are brilliantly suited here to roam the attack. Trossard has been creating chances for Brighton. Unwepu has stated he wants to be a creative attacking player, and Unwepu is especially suited to the right attacking midfield role. This would allow him to chip in with some goals, cross from the right flank, and also defend high up the pitch out of possession, using his good tackling ability to win possession in dangerous areas. The striker, an interesting one. Neil Maupay, Danny Welbeck, or a new signing. Celtic striker Odsonne Edouard is linked, and maybe he'd be a bit more clinical than Neil Maupay. Otherwise, well, currently Danny Welbeck is looking the better out of the two already at the club, but he can't be a regular starter game in, game out throughout a season. There's many reasons as to why this team would help Brighton's goal-scoring troubles. With the addition of Unwepu and Moder into the team, they're both attacking-minded players, but they also keep the balance of defensive qualities too. You've got a great foundation of the centre-backs plus Bissouma, and this means that Lamptey can push very high up and break the defensive line with his pace. Moder is free to push higher up in the midfield, playing alongside a defensively solid Bissouma. The attacking midfielders, Trossard and Unwepu, have the freedom of the attack as they move to find spaces, cover a lot of ground and keep the fast pace going in the attack, which can make a difference for the reasons stated earlier. Cucurella transforms the left flank, becoming one of the main creators for the side. 80 shot creating actions was the most for Getafe, as well as 235 successful pressures and 35 key passes. Brighton then have a quality creative option on the left side to find the striker, as well as Trossard, Unwepu at the back post or Moder arriving late into the box. This team of course doesn't guarantee improvement, but it definitely increases their chances of scoring more goals when they should, and that will lead to better results and a higher league table finish. Let me know what position you think Brighton will finish in. If you enjoyed the video, then please click the like button. It massively helps the videos getting found, and for more Premier League insight and analysis, subscribe to Route 1.